This is going to be a very interesting conversation today. Very interesting. So if you can hear me, please do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button, whatever you want to call it. If you got any questions for me, I'm here. This is going to be interesting. Oh my goodness. So today, just a little while ago, I'm back at work, by the way, as you can tell. The trip to Albania was beautiful. Had a beautiful trip to Albania. Had the opportunity to meet and greet a variety of brothers from across the spectrums, and it was completely beautiful. Do me a favor, hit the like button for me if you're here, and please welcome to the chat. We're live. Today is going to be an interesting conversation. So anyway, my trip to Albania was totally beautiful, well received by the various dignitaries from various Grand Lodges. It was interesting only because of the way things are done there and the way things are done here in the States. What's up, Jay? Man, yeah, this is going to be an interesting conversation today. So, you know, I learned a lot in regards to Masonry and how it's dealt with there versus how it's dealt here, you know, in the States. And that's the biggest difference. And when you're actually traveling and visiting foreign countries and the whole thing, I want to send a big shout out to the Grandmaster of Albania, Grandmaster of Italy, those brothers who traveled from Africa. I want to send a big shout out to the Grandmaster of North Carolina. That is Brother Rashad Muhammad. I want to send a big shout out to Sister Natalie, who was there. I want to send a big shout out to all the elected members of the conference of Calypsis and being there. I want to send each of you a big shout out. I mean, I had a wonderful time, especially to the Grandmaster of Albania. I want to say thank you for the hospitality, taking us out, showing us around, just showing us what Masonry should look like, should be like. Big shout out to you and the hospitality of the Grand Lodge of Albania and what you've done and shown me as a brother, to my wife, you know, to this jurisdiction, how you welcome us in with open arms. I want to say thank you. And to the other Grand Lodges that was accepted into Calypsis, congratulations. And, you know, it was great, man. The setting, the atmosphere was great. I mean, I can't even think of my brother's name. He just drove me around Albania, man. We went to Tanzania. Was that Tanzania? I want to say Tanzania. That's the capital of Albania. We was there. We was in the city, man. We was all over the place and had a great time, man. Just like I say, you always want to go where you accepted, respected. You know, there's a difference. There's truly a difference. You want to go where you're welcome, man, and remove yourself from toxic places. But with that being said, the trip itself was totally beautiful. Islam, what's going on with you? I appreciate that. You know, what's up, Mike? How you doing? Everybody who's coming in, I appreciate that. To the Imperial Potentate, man, I'm glad to know that your surgery went well. You know, past, present, and future. Greetings to you. I'm glad to have you aboard. You know, but I'm going to share with you a conversation I just had about maybe 10 minutes ago with Grandmaster Randolph Slaughter. Some say Rudolph, some say Randolph Slaughter. Grandmaster Slaughter, I'm going to put some respect on his name. Grandmaster Slaughter, the most wishful Prince Hall Grand Lodge out of Louisiana. I had just got off the phone with him. Had a great conversation with him. And he was very open. Open. And his conversation was candid. And I can appreciate his openness and willing to have a conversation. I would say this, thank you very much. I would say this, that in having that conversation with him, I learned a lot. I'm not gonna sit here and say I didn't. I did. I listened. The man has been around for a while. He was able to share some things with me, Masonically speaking. And I'm going, he said, look, I don't have anything to hide. So my first question to him is a relationship, as far as Masonically speaking, as far as communication was concerned. That's why I gave him a call. He said, look, Brother Tony, I know who you are. I don't have no problems with the brothers of the ancient, free and accepted Masons. I don't have no problems with them. We talk with them. We feel it. Louisiana has no problem with the brothers. None at all. Ancient, free and accepted Masons, we are good with them. And I was like, wow. He said, other Grandmasters, that's their problem. I don't have that problem. And I was like, So as we continued our conversation, he told me, yeah, they put me out of the Conference of Grandmasters. Yeah, but that doesn't change anything. I was like, oh, no, I'm still the Grand Master of Louisiana. I'm still the Grand Master of Prince Hall Grand Lodge of Louisiana. I'm still that guy. I was like, okay. He went on to explain to me, in regards to John G. Jones. I was like, he's like, man, look, let me tell you something. When John G. Jones ran for the election, he won the election. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, John G. Jones won the election. We know that. And coming from him, I'm like, okay, let's just be honest. I've heard so much and I've done my own research, but to hear it from somebody who's there, he's a Grandmaster, been a Grandmaster 25 years. This man has nothing to hide. He has no reason to lie to me whatsoever. And in our conversation, like I say, he was very candid, very open in regards to the Prince Hall family and what he sees and where he's trying to go and how he's trying to move the organization forward, especially now that he is a sovereign Grand Commander. He's still the sitting Grand Master. He said, look, if they kick their members out, they got a place to come. They got a home to come to. And I just listened to what he was giving, And I was like, okay, I really appreciate that. Greetings, everybody who's coming in. I appreciate you. And it gave me a better insight on his journey and what he's trying to accomplish and do for Freemasonry. And I know a lot of people are gonna think, oh, this guy right here. No, I'm open. I like having open conversations with other Masons. Not everyone is always going to agree with your ideas. Absolutely, they're not. In speaking with Brother Slaughter, like he told me, they ain't seen nothing yet. He said, Brother Tony, they haven't seen anything yet. I was like, oh. And he went into details. He said some things, but it's not here for me to say what he said. Although he was like, I'm open. I'll say it to anybody. And I truly believe that he would say that to anybody. If you would give him a call, I believe, honestly, this man would tell you exactly how he feels. Greetings, noble brother, Dr. Victor Williams, PhD of Metaphysic Healing from Kent, Duke Masonic Lodge in DC. Greetings, Brother Victor. How you doing? So it really gave me a different perspective on what people say about him versus what I've actually had the conversation with him. It's different. A lot of people can tell you a lot of things about people, but until you have that conversation with them, you really won't know the truth. You really won't. And for me, from a Grandmaster, a past Grandmaster to a sitting Grandmaster, to listen to him and tell me the reason why he did the things that he did, I'm like, okay. I'm okay, because there's a Facebook page that explains everything that took place and the reason why Slaughter has done what he's done, or doing, because he ain't stopping. I can say this right now. He's not stopping. And there is nothing, absolutely nothing nobody can ever do about it. You can call Slaughter clandestine. You can say he's this. You can say he's that. He's the Grandmaster. of Prince Hall Grand Lodge of Louisiana, and there's nothing you can do about it because the craft elected him to be the Grand Master. Craft spoke, you know. So in listening to it, him explain to me, they said, look, this is the situation at hand, you know, and this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. It really kind of gave me a different perspective on what other people have said and what I've read, but hearing it from him says it all. I'm just telling you, y'all gonna see something coming up in the near future is gonna blow your mind. I'm telling you what he told me. I'm not going into details with it because I'm going to respect the conversation in that part. You know, that I would tell you something big is about to pop off, and it's gonna really ruffle some real feathers here pretty soon. So whatever that looks like, I'm just saying, be prepared for it. And this is why it's always good to open up those communication barriers with other Masonic jurisdictions. You know, that I read somewhere they said that that the members of John G. Jones was isolated. Their members are isolated. I don't know what that looks like. I'm being honest with you. I have read that. The brother said, oh yeah, John G. Jones Grand Lodges, they're isolated. Brother, I just come back from Albania. And not only that, I stopped over in Istanbul. I'm mispronouncing a word, but you know what I'm saying. I stopped over in Istanbul, had a great time over there. And so to say that somebody is isolated, you're fooling yourself. And having this conversation with Slaughter shows what Masonry should be like. It shows you the camaraderie we should have and how we should respect each other. And I know a lot of people on the Prince Hall side is not going to want to hear that. You know, people really need to do their homework when it comes to the word clandestine. Absolutely. You know, I know people are not going to want to hear, but that's okay. Because in having a conversation and being able to travel freely as a Mason, and I've done that, and being able to develop the different relationships. The Grandmaster of Lebanon was there. And in using translator, we had a great conversation. We had a great conversation. And the Grandmaster of Italy was there. And he and I had a great conversation. And there are some things in the works for this jurisdiction in regards to Masonic amenities, but I have to bring it and talk with the craft in regards to it and see, you know. But those things and having these relationships and building these relationships with other Masonic jurisdictions is what we should be doing. We don't have to. Look, we're not going to agree on everything. However, in the process of understanding and passing the fraternal branch, this is what we should be doing. Plain and simple. And that's what Slaughter told me. He was like, brother, I know, I see what you're doing. You know, I don't always say something. I just see what you're doing. And he can respect that. And I appreciate that. You know, and to everybody else, yeah, definitely take a serious look at your Masonic journey. Take that look. And I guarantee you, a lot of people are afraid to even give the man a call. You're afraid. I remember here recently, how you doing? He was, they invited Slaughter into one of the groups, and then they wouldn't let him in. That's a fact. They invited Slaughter to one of the Prince Hall groups, and then they wouldn't let him in. What is it about the man that you are so afraid of? What is it? I mean, help me out. Big shout out to my brother Kevin Brumont. You know, in his journey and what he's doing for his Masonic body. You know, big shout out to you making them serious moves. Big shout out to AJ. You know, them brothers right there, those two brothers. Now they're on a mission. You know, they're working with the Scottish Rite Grand Lodge, a pure Scottish Rite Grand Lodge, 1 through 33. You know. But they're making moves, they're doing what they're doing, and I can appreciate the advice, I can appreciate the calls and the conversation that he and I have had, you know, be it through Zoom or any other medium that we may use. I can appreciate that. you know. But in addition to my visit to Albania and my conversation with Slaughter, it just goes to show you that Masonry is a beautiful thing. and I know people be looking like this dude right here. No, it really is. And I say that candidly, you know. And and Slaughter said, look, let me tell you something, Brother Tony. While they're over there trying to seek, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna sum it up in how he in a short form. He said, while they're over there trying to seek recognition from those Grand Lodges, he says, I'm here building relationships, and I get that. He said, I'm here to say, look, you do that, the cream of your membership, that's why you're losing membership. I was like, wow. He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, they losing membership. And I was like, no. He was like, no, they losing membership. You know, because you want to fit in with someone who really don't want you. But look, give me your cream of your crop. It reminds me, of the integration of the schools and how they took the cream of the crop of black schools, pupils, and put them in white schools, and in the process left you with whatever you got. I'm not saying those were not great students, but they took the cream of the crop, okay, and placed them over here separately from you. You know, take everybody. Don't just take a small few or try to take my best pupils. No. So in having that conversation with him, this is what he sees. He's like, no, I am the Grandmaster, the most worshipful Prince of all Grand Lodge of Louisiana. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. And we're going to build a relationship with those who want to build a relationship with us. If you kick a member out of your Grand Lodge and he needs a home to stay and move about, he's welcome in this jurisdiction. You know, indeed, clandestine is jargon of fraternizing such as ours. It is not a label we should embrace in the perspective. I got the sun in my back, Brother Williams. I'm trying to get what you got. Okay. Theosis societies is a case of circumstances among Masons, be he free or not. Oh, okay. What's up there, Brother Sanders? Grandmaster Kevin Sanders is on here. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your support. When I went over to Albania, I really appreciate your support and what we're trying to accomplish here in this Masonic jurisdiction. But with that being said, it's just an honor to be able to represent Masonry wherever I go. I'm gonna tell you that again. It is an honor to be able to represent Freemasonry wherever I go. Because what a lot of people tend to forget and miss is that no matter where you go, as long as you got that compass square on you, you are a representation of Freemasonry. Whether you like it or not, whether you are modern free, international, PHA, whether it means whatever that Grand Lodge that you are a part of, wherever you go, you are indeed a representation of the society of Freemasonry. The good, the bad, and the ugly. So all of this in-house niggotry, I shouldn't have said that, stretch that. All of that you pull out, man, it's worth nothing. It's worth nothing. Absolutely nothing. And this is why you have to have a mentality of a free mind. A free mind. Somebody asked me the other day regarding mainstream Freemasonry. And I said, look, those brothers over there in mainstream Freemasonry are doing what they're supposed to do. They don't give me any problems. They're not the ones calling me a variety of different names. They're not the ones. However, to be able to work with them in a community event is a beautiful thing. And we have done that. We have done that. It's been a few years, but we did it. We did it. And I think in watching the brothers of the craft, this is what you should be doing. So when I reached out to Slaughter and we had that conversation today, I'm just trying to build that bridge over troubled waters, because a lot of grandmasters who are PHA won't say nothing to me. This is the second grandmaster, besides Grandmaster Philip Thomas, who was the grandmaster at the time of Prince Hall Grand Lodge of California, when he and I sat at the table with other grandmasters and really had an open conversation. Brother Slaughter is the second grandmaster to actually have that conversation with me. And for him to be so candidly open regarding Freemasonry, it was different. It was a different feel. He didn't try to shove down my throat anything other than brotherly love, relief, and truth. Other than just saying, look, we're brothers first. We're Masons, right? And I'm a black man too. So that's where he was at. That's his whole thing. And I can really appreciate that conversation that we had just a little while ago. And I know most people won't appreciate the conversation because they are in that mentality to where they can't come out of it. I'm better than you mentality. I'm a this and I'm a that. But in speaking with Slaughter, it was like sitting at the table talking to a dear friend. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You know, in my journey to Albania, it was the same way. Sitting at the table having a conversation with a dear friend. You know, I'm not saying we agreed at everything, but the conversation flowed. The thing that we did agree on is that we're brothers first. You're a Mason, I'm a Mason, okay? And I know that a lot of people may say, well, Hawks, I thought you didn't like white Masons. Who told you that? I don't like the attitude of some mainstream Masons. I don't like the attitude of some of my brothers in my jurisdiction. I don't like the attitude of some brothers in modern free. And that's a personal thing. But the bigger picture of the universality of Freemasonry says, look, we can get past this. But a brother some don't want to get past it. Some don't even want to have the conversation. They're too afraid to have the conversation. You know, society thinks of us all charitable organization, which is not Freemasonry, rather beyond what traditional education can provide. You know, thank you, Brother Victor. You know, and that's the thing. Please hit the like button for me. I appreciate it. So for you right now, while I got a little bit of time left, I know you've heard me talk in regards to the conversation. What is that you want to know in regards to the conversation that I've had with Slaughter today? What is it you want to ask me? Because I probably have forgotten some things and didn't relay it quite well. But what is it that you who are on here watching me right now, you who are Masons, you who are even not Masons, what is it you would like to ask me regarding that conversation? Because it was a great conversation. That's the best way I can put it. You know, I had no idea that he knew of me. And when he said, yeah, I know you. I'm there. I see you. I don't have to say nothing, but I see you. And I respect that. I really do. But I wanted him to know that I see him and I'm letting him know, I know you too. And I see you and I see the work you're doing. Who is Slaughter? Well, Grandmaster Randolph Slaughter is the Grandmaster of the most wishful Prince Hall Grand Lodge of Louisiana. It has been, he has been at odds, or may I say, the Conference of Grandmasters have been at odds with Brother Slaughter for quite a while now. He is also the Sovereign Grand Commander for the Southern Jurisdiction, Prince Hall Scottish Rite Freemasonry. So they have been at odds with him for a while, and they have gone through some scrimmages and things like that. And he's proven to them, this is what Masonry should do. This is what Masonry should look like. And so with that being said, that's who Slaughter is in a bottle, you know. And in having that conversation, I got that. What is the biggest difference between PHA and Ancient Free and Accepted Masons? None. There's absolutely none. Because we're all pulling from the same community, the same church, the same clubs, the same family, the same everything. There's absolutely no big difference. However, I would add, in most of the Ancient Free and Accepted Masons jurisdiction I visited, They're more geared in the esoteric. They're more geared towards learning the works and, you know, and how to move about within the Masonic atmosphere or lodge. I can say that because based upon my visitation, period. Now, I'm going to say this. Yes, I have visited a Prince Hall Lodge. I don't care what you say or how you say it, and I'm not going to throw them under the bus. Ain't no difference. I'm going to say that again. Ain't no difference. Yes, I know how to walk the Tyler sword. Yes, I've taken the Tyler's oath, obligation, however you want to put it. I've done those things. I've walked in 3, 5, and 7, or maybe you say 7, 5, and 3. I've done that in my visitation to the Masonic lodges. So no, there's none. They don't like him or agree with him because he is going back to the ancient time, which is a different form of masonry they grew up in. Yeah, you know, absolutely. I would say that, you know. Oh, okay. You know, so, oh yeah. Get that out the way. Okay, I appreciate it. There's a monitor. I appreciate you handling that for me. Thank you. I was taking a break from recruiting the first degree and presenting. Oh, okay. I appreciate that. What's going on, George Dukes? Appreciate you tuning in. Them Freemasons playing in the. Yeah, get rid of him, bro. I don't know who that brown guy is. Get rid of him. My mediator, who's ever on here, please. You know. Let me see if I can do that. I'll just completely remove them. I don't have time for that. Don't have time for that. I can't find the like button. Oh, it. Yeah. If you ain't one of them, you know. I'm just going to remove the message. I'm not going to kick him out. Yeah, it's a lot going on. They're trying to say he's DC is clandestine. Yeah, they are. But he's not. How can you say he's clandestine? I like to know that. His charter says Prince Hall Grand Lodge of Louisiana, PHA. But you're saying he's clandestine. Man, y'all got a lot to learn. Really, you do. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. How long did you have to study to be in your position? Oh, Lord. In my position, it took me over 20 years. I was in, before I became a Grandmaster, I was in Masonry over 20 years. Over 20. And I served as a Grandmaster for 5 years. 4 consecutive years, I stepped down. I was reelected for a year. And so, yeah. And I enjoyed the journey as I'm continuous to enjoy the journey. Yes, I am Memphis Mizraim. What they call primitive rites. And in my jurisdiction, it comes under the umbrella of the United Supreme Council. And we practice those rights. We study those rights. Yes, we do. You know, we don't call it a sanctuary or anything like that because we don't really follow. There are lineages you should follow within the confines of the primitive rights. But since that degree was bestowed upon me, we have taken in and studied those degrees under our Supreme Council authority. You know, what's the difference between Freemasonry and the Boule? Well, I'm only going to give my perspective, and I appreciate that. I would say within the confines of the Boule that what they do or what they believe is, a lot of people call them gatekeepers. So if you're not part of the Boule in certain references, you can be blocked from jobs or whatever that may be look like. That's what I've heard. I don't know a whole lot about the Boule. I know that a lot of them are part of the D9 or different groups of fraternities, pledging, Greek fraternities that is. I don't know how many members of the Boule may be part of Freemasonry. I don't know. However, they exist. They do what they do for those who are members of the Boule versus those who are not members. And I'm not mad at them. Either way, I'm not mad at the Boule for doing what they do for those who are members of the organization. I have no gripes with that. How does one go about even going into the community? It's easy. It's easy. When I was wish from, well, I'm the wish from master again now. I just got reelected. However, my first term as wish from master, what I did was I wanted to open up a variety of communication with a variety of other organizations, and that I did. And in doing so, I was able to bring in or open the doors to what we call the Black Police Association, the Black Nurse Association, doctors and lawyers. I was able to form those relationships with those organizations and going into the community to show them what professionals look like. You don't always have to play basketball or football to get ahead. You need doctors, lawyers, you need politicians, you need people in positions of power to move your community forward. Until you understand that, you're going to always be where you're at. So therefore, I chose to, when I became Worshipful Master, is to engage in those professional people who had the resources to assist and aid my lodge and those who are in it and the community in developing programs and helping out, such as Christie's Place. It's a place that is dedicated to those kids whose families or parents may have AIDS. So we assist with Christie's Place and in helping them to assure and that those who are in need get some assistance. Also, a big shout out to Brother Grandmaster Robert Jackson, or Modern Free Grand Lodge here in California. His Grandmaster, my Grandmaster, they get the food and they distribute food. So getting involved with the community is not a hard thing to do. What you want to do is give them the resources to continue to forge ahead and have a better life. It's okay to give food. It's okay to give backpacks. That's okay. But you also want to give them those resources. And I think Grandmaster Roberts Jackson of Modern Free, and I think my sitting Grandmaster Calvin Sanders. And let me not forget my Imperial Potentate, I think it's every second Saturday in the month, him along with other veterans, they go and they have this, I don't know if it's called a stand down or whatever they may do. He's in here, he can probably explain it a lot better than I can, where they bring in those veterans and get them the needed assistance in their journeys. And a big shout out to Dr. Dean. Dr. Dean is a member of my lodge, and he offers services to those veterans and to anyone who may need psychological care in their journey. And he does his thing, and I can appreciate that. You know, I was raised on May the 11th. I'm still trying to figure out whose those ruffians were. Brother, those ruffians, I'm gonna tell you right now, is your ego. The ruffians is a spiritual thing, and it's a mental thing. Once you were able to put that ego down and set it aside, I'm never saying you're gonna not need that ego. You're gonna need your ego sometime. But once you were able to put that ego aside and tame that ego, once you were able to raise your spiritual consciousness, because those who killed Hiram Abiff was dead spiritually, okay? Their egos got in the way because they wanted what he had. They couldn't wait until the job was done to receive it. They wanted it then. You know, self-gratification is a ruffian. So yeah, those ruffians ain't nothing to play with. I'm 3. Okay, so you're in the process. Oh, you're producing an 8-lecture series on it in the House of Esar, E-R-I-S. Oh, really? Okay. That's going to be interesting. In Prince Hall Masonry, do clandestine have a routine catechism for 3 degrees Masons do in ancient free, accepted Mason? There is a Masonic catechism out there. Let's just be honest. And it's used, but I can say this, in my jurisdictions, we don't use the Masonic catechism. If a brother want to have it and learn it, he can do that. It's not something that we tell a brother to go do. He does on his own. There is a Masonic catechism out there, you know, and I used to, man, I used to eat that up. I used to, bruh, about 20 years ago or so, I used to be Masonic cat. Let's have that conversation for sure. But as I grew, you know, I learned that you don't need that. That's not how Masons really get down. That's not how they really do it. I'm gonna tell you something. It is not how it's really done. Individually speaking, that's not how it's done at all. It's not. It is not. Brother, you need to leave drugs. I don't know who this is. Who she's, or is it she? What do you feel about Mason as in pertaining to African Americans? Was it, hell yeah, it was meant for us. It was by us. The problem is that too many times we request someone else to identify for us. I'm gonna say this again. Too many times we request someone else to identify for us, someone else to tell us who we are. I'm not waiting on someone else from any race to tell me who I am, or can I be accepted, or am I accepted? I'm not waiting on that. And I didn't wait on that. I think becoming a part of John G. Jones Grand Lodge, California was the best decision I made, Masonically speaking, for me, because it was a different perspective on Freemasonry. It wasn't that other Grand Lodges are clandestine. It wasn't that. It wasn't the teachings that you are better than anybody else and that you shouldn't talk to other Masons. It was totally the opposite. Being here was totally the opposite. It was like, brother, enjoy the journey. Yeah, enjoy the journey, you know, and I've done that. And this is what I've gotten out of being part of this particular jurisdiction. Hey, we ain't tripping on nobody. And another thing, the reason most people try to discredit other people is because they are afraid. Let me say this again. The reason most people try to discredit other people is because they are afraid. What do you have to fear me? Why do you fear me? Oh, well, you taking people money. Prove it. Prove that I have taken someone else's money. Prove it. You know, I hear it all the time. And I think that's what it is. I think for the most part, not all, I can't put everybody in the same genie box, but I can say this, for the most part, I believe that most Prince Hall Grand Lodges are afraid of the modern free. They're afraid of PHO. They're afraid of ancient free and accepted Masons. And the reason they are afraid of them is because they exist. And then they want to label them. That's me personally saying that. That's not something that somebody has told me. I believe that they are afraid. If you wasn't afraid, then you leave me alone. You say, well, man, forget that dude. Let him do what he does. Period. But I don't get that. So if you come at me, I'm gonna come right back at you. On another level, though. On another level. You know, that's how that gonna work. Like I said, I'm newly raised, most wishful Prince Hall Grand Lodge of Virginia. Welcome, brother. But I'm kind of afraid of wearing Masonic items. I don't know how non-Masonics will treat me. Brother, start worrying about other people. Start worrying about other people. Don't, man, look. Set that aside and start enjoying the journey. Stop worrying about other people and what they're going to think of you when you wear your Masonic ring. Wear it with pride. You earned it. So wear it with pride. Wear it with pride, man. Forget all of that stuff. Wear your Masonic jewelry with pride and be able to understand and protect that. Hey, greetings. Be able to understand and protect that ring. When you got that ring on and a brother approaches you, You should be able to speak the language of Masonry in such a way to that brother say, yeah, he's true about that business. Then you pull out your membership card and say, I'm a member of such and such. If he doesn't like it, that's his business. That's on him. That ain't on you. Enjoy your journey, man. Forget all that stuff. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be having fun, enjoying the journey of education and knowledge and information that you may come across and understand and see things differently than you've always saw it. That's what you should be doing, brother. You know, it's not for them to understand. Satanic. Well, if you think so, you know, that is of one opinion. Absolutely. They have no right to question you or to judge you, but people are always going to judge. So I'm totally used to that. People are going to judge. That's what they do. So you can't hold that on nobody. You can't hold it on nobody. I wouldn't even sweat it. I wouldn't even sweat it. You let people do what people do. You know, that's how I would do it. That's exactly how I would do it. I let people do what people do, and I will keep it moving. There you go. That's me. That's me. Absolutely. What's up, GOAT? How you doing? I think because people in the entertainment industry messed it up for the ones who are curious. True that. True that. That can be. That can really be. You know. I see it. I can see that from that point of view. You know, I really can. You know. So look, I hope that you've gotten something out of this conversation. And I'm gonna say this to Grandmaster Slaughter. Continue the journey. Be safe. Brother Hawkins, it is a pleasure to meet you on the level of equality with you. Hey, the same to you, Brother Victor. The same to you. The same to you. Absolutely, the same to you.
Anyway, sorry.
You coming to Houston next month for Grand Session? No, because I would be, where will I be next month? I will be in Florida at Grand Session next month. That is my journey. I will be in Florida at Grand Session next month. And then the month after that, I'll be in Cincinnati for Grand Session. And then after that, I have another session I was in. So I won't be in Houston this time. I enjoyed it last year when I was there. Had a wonderful time. But yeah, I've already made some other plans. I appreciate it. You know, those satanic comments is one of the reasons I'm afraid to wear Masonic stuff. I can respect that. I can respect that. You know. I'm gonna hit you up. Oh, okay. If you got the number, do that. No, I'm not. It's not Tampa. It's Orlando. Orlando. You know, for real. Don't be afraid. Is that the G? Is that the G symbol for? What is the G symbol for? Gymnastic. Did I say that word right? Gymnastic. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I know other people are going to say God. I know people are going to say geometry and a whole lot of others, but nah, that's nah. Once you begin to see it differently, the G is not going to be the same to everybody. Some people say it's God. Some people say it's deity. Some people say it's geometry. I've learned for myself it's all of that, but genosis is what it really is. It really is that. We invite all who are interested in our United Supreme Council in October. Oh yeah, we're having our United Supreme Council in October. So if you're interested in coming to California and you want to hang out and enjoy the fellowship, you're welcome to come to California. It's going to be in Los Angeles at the 4 Points Sheraton, LAX. Reach out to us and we'll get you registered. You know, come on in and fellowship. You know, just make sure you have your membership card. Let us know where you're hailing from, and we're good. I'm afraid I'm not a Mason, and I know what the G means. Oh, don't be afraid. Don't even worry about it. Greeting, Brother Tony. I hit you up on Instagram. Brother, I'm not on Instagram as much, but if you want to hit me up, you're welcome to do so. I'm going to put my number out here publicly. That number is going to be 858. Again, you can hit me at 858-707. And that's going to be 5582. You can hit me up at that number and we can have the conversation. All right. Look, I got to go. I hope everybody have a great day. We act on a plum. Oh, yeah. Brother Victor. Absolutely, we do. So until next time, peace and be well. I'm out.